Hello everyone, welcome back to Bioholic channel. I am your educator Urpita Vishwas and today I will discuss about the part 4 of our digestive system, which is the pancreas and its role in our digestive system. So let's start. This topic can be discussed through some points. Those are the functional anatomy of the pancreas, the pancreatic secretion, composition and mechanism of production and action, and the last one is some applied aspects. Now the first one, the functional anatomy. This is the whole structure of pancreas is shown in this diagram. There is presence of some lobules in this pancreatic section and we can clearly see the presence of pancreatic duct in between this. This can be divided into mainly three parts: the tail, the body and the head portion. In the head portion, the common bile duct is situated. The whole pancreas can be divided into mainly two parts, the endocrine part and the exocrine part. The exocrine part causes secretion of pancreatic juice from the acinar and duct tissues, and the endocrine part, the islets of Langerhans cells, causes secretion of hormones which are insulin, glucagon and somatostatin. Now let's move on to the internal structure. In this section, we can clearly see two types of cell: the acinar cells and the pancreatic islets, which include alpha, beta cells that secrete hormones, and there is a duct which is called as the pancreatic duct. This duct and the duct from the liver forms the common bile duct and attaches to the part of duodenum of small intestine. There is a complex network of vessels and nerves in the pancreas. Those are some arteries, the veins, the lymphatic duct, and some nerves are also present in the pancreas, which are parasympathetic and the sympathetic nerves. Now let us talk about the cells. The acinar cells secrete digestive enzymes and the pancreatic islets secrete hormone. In this diagram, the whole cellular structure is shown. The acinar cells lines the alveoli appears triangular in section and numerous secretion granules can be demonstrated in the cytoplasm, especially in the apical part of the cells. And the centroacinar cells is one type of secretory acinar cell. The alveoli of exocrine pancreas contain centroacinar cells and they are located near the center of the acinus. Now let's move on to the pancreatic secretion. It is a colorless isotonic to plasma and by 1200 to 1500 ml per day it is secreted. The pH of this secretion is 7.8 to 8.4 and it has high concentration of HCO3 ions. These have many components which are organic, like some enzymes and other substances. Some enzymes like the amylase, lipase, protease, trypsin, and some organic substances that include the albumin and globulin. And there is also presence of some inorganic substances. Those are sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, zinc, those positive ions, and some anions like HCO3-, Cl- and SO4-. Now let us talk about the pancreatic enzymes. There are groups of enzymes which acts on food. Number 1 is the amylase that hydrolyze complex carbohydrates to disaccharides. Number 2 is the pancreatic lipase. These pancreatic lipase include pancreatic lipase, cholesterol ester, hydrolase and phospholipase A. The lipase is a powerful lipolytic enzyme that hydrolyzes neutral fats to glycerol and fatty acid. The cholesterol ester acts on cholesterol esters and converts it to cholesterol. The phospholipase A is secreted in an active form and then it is activated and causes lysophospholipids to be degraded. And number 3 is the pancreatic proteases. These include trypsin, chymotrypsin, elastase, nuclease and collagenase. Now let's move on to the function of the pancreatic juice. This includes two functions. Number 1 is the digestion. The pancreatic juice is the major source of digestive enzymes that digest all components of food that includes protein, carbohydrate, fats and nucleic acid. And number 2 is the neutralizing function. This juice is highly alkaline due to high concentration of HCO3- ion, and this causes neutralization of the gastric HCl in the chyme, which enters into the duodenum. Now the mechanism of pancreatic secretion. The secretion is mainly formed through the acinar cells present in the pancreas that secrete enzymes. The ductal secretes bicarbonate in rich secretion and the cells makes this bicarbonate ion through some mechanism. Let's discuss it. This CO2 diffuses into the ductal cells where it combines with the water and forms the bicarbonate ion and the hydrogen ion. This hydrogen ion across to the basolateral membrane produces a high intracellular HCO3- and this HCO3- flows down to its electrochemical potential gradient across the luminal membrane via a chloride and bicarbonate channel. This chloride is recycled back into the lumen by a electrogenic chloride channel present in the luminar membrane. The sodium enters into the cell in case of the hydrogen exchange, and this sodium is also driven back through a sodium potassium ATPase pump. So that's all about the mechanism. Now let's talk about the regulation of pancreatic secretion. Both neuronal and hormonal mechanisms are involved in the regulation of pancreatic secretion, with the latter playing the predominant role of the neuronal regulation and the hormonal regulation. The neuronal is the main vagal stimulation that causes release of pancreatic enzyme, and subhormone like secretin, cholecystokinin also plays a major role in the regulation of pancreatic secretion. There are mainly 3 stages of pancreatic secretion. Number 1 is the cephalic phase. These have conditioned reflex and unconditioned reflex. The conditioned reflex includes taste, smell and thought of food, and unconditioned reflex includes the taste of food in the mouth. That causes activation of the vagus and causes little secretion of pancreatic enzymes and HCO3- ion. Second stage is the gastric stage. These also have 3 parts: the distension of stomach by food that activate vagus, which causes low volume of pancreatic bicarbonate ion and enzyme secretion. The second one is the amino acid and peptides that causes secretion of gastrin, which activates low volume of high enzyme secretion. And third one and last one is the low pH of chyme in the duodenum causes secretion of secretin hormone, which causes large amount of aqueous secretion with high bicarbonate concentration of pancreatic juice. Last phase of this secretion is the intestinal phase. This includes two steps. The amino acid and the peptides in chyme in duodenum causes secretion of cholecystokinin that causes pancreatic juice secretion with rich in enzymes. And the second one of intestinal motivator is the food in small intestine, which activates the vagus nerve through secretin and CCK and causes pancreatic juice secretion rich in enzymes and bicarbonate ion. Now some applied aspects. Disorders of pancreas. The chronic pancreatitis. It is a chronic inflammation of pancreas which results in slow destruction of the tissue, resulting in deficiency of pancreatic secretion. The cystic fibrosis. It is a disorder of pancreatic secretion and results from defect in the chloride channel that is caused by a mutation in the cystic fibrosis transmembrane conductance regulator gene. Third one is the acute pancreatitis. It is an acute inflammatory disease of pancreas to result from the autodigestion of pancreatic tissue by presence of proteolytic enzyme which leak out from the acinar cell and are activated within the pancreas, and this causes digestion of the tissues. And last one is the pancreatectomy. It is a surgical removal of pancreas, and this is usually performed in carcinoma of the pancreas. Now some pancreatic function test. The analysis of pancreatic juice. It starts through the collection of pancreatic juice from the pancreas. This can be done through secretin test, the combined secretin and CCK test, the Lund's test. Second one is the analysis of products of digestion. The fecal fat excretion test, the fecal nitrogen excretion test, and the tripeptide hydrolysis test, and dual level skilling test. And the third one can be done the estimation of serum amylase levels. These whole tests are performed to evaluate the normal functioning of the pancreas and to detect abnormality if any present. So that's all for today. If you find this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you have any queries, please comment below, or you can also send your queries to our Gmail account given in the description box. Please share this video, and if you are new on our channel, please subscribe it and turn on the bell icon for further future notification. The self-assessment test, which is based on the NEET exam, is given in the description box. Please go through it. Thank you. We will meet on next Monday with the fifth part of our topic, the liver and the gallbladder and their function in our digestive system.